From Chrysler Arena to courts around the world, they wore the maize and blue, and now they're bringing you the game, inside and out. Hail Media presents Nolan and Hobbs, the Women's Hoop Home Court podcast, hosted by Maddie Nolan and Jordan Hobbs.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Nolan and Hobbs show with me, Maddie Nolan, and my co-host, Jordan Hobbs. Today, we are going to be previewing the long-anticipated matchup of the number 18 Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the number 14 Michigan Wolverines playing this Saturday in Detroit. We're so excited for this matchup and to share a little bit of preview of what we're looking forward to. Notre Dame has started off their season very strong, starting off 3-0 with wins over Fairleigh Dickinson, Chicago State, and Akron.
So Notre Dame has left a really bad taste in my mouth since last season.
Yeah.
We went there, played them second round of March Madness. Honestly, we just didn't really play our game. We did not show up that day. Credit to them, they played really well. But I think for the returners, it also has left a bad taste in their mouth. So it's going to be fun to see how they respond, especially at a neutral site. It's going to be fun. Hopefully they get a lot of Michigan fans that can travel to Detroit, but it's going to be a really fun game. I think the matchup between certain key players, which we'll get into, is going to be really fun to watch.
Completely agree, Jordan. And I was at that Notre Dame game last year. It was played at Notre Dame, so they obviously had the home crowd advantage as well. And, just an unfortunate way, but you guys fought as always. So I'm hoping we can get a revenge game here on Saturday and be excited to watch Michigan come out on top this time. With that being said, Notre Dame did lose a lot of key players. Olivia Miles, Kate Koval both went into the transfer portal. Miles is now at TCU with Koval going to LSU. Sonia Citron had a great rookie season in the WNBA, was up there with Paige for fighting for Rookie of the Year. But they still return defensive player and just Player of the Year candidate Hannah Hidalgo had an insane game the other day with 44 points and set the NCAA record with 16 steals. And I think she had 9 rebounds and a couple of assists. Just a crazy game. Someone really fun to watch, not fun to play against, I'm sure, Jordan, but just a spark plug for the Irish. But they've basically built their team around her for this upcoming year, and she's definitely the centerpiece for them.
Yeah, I mean, Hidalgo basically puts up video game numbers almost every single game. She put up 32 in another game this season. I mean, her offense is spoken for itself, but her on-ball defense is another beast, and I'm really excited to see how Michigan handles that. I feel like there's not a ton of defenders in the Big Ten who are up in your grill that much as Hidalgo is. There's not many in the conference, or excuse me, in the country that are at Hidalgo's level. So it's going to be fun to watch. But just from a starter's perspective on Notre Dame, they have 3 returners with Hidalgo, Cass Prosper, and KK Bransford. So I'm sure they're kind of steering the ship. They know what to expect out of Niele Ivey and what she's looking for. And then they added on a transfer from Arizona. She played at Arizona and Kansas State in Sanchez. She is 6'4". So a lot taller than the people Ashley has gone against thus far, and probably a lot more physical. And then their last player in the starting lineup is DeJesus from Duke. She plays the 1 and 2 a little bit. She is very crafty, can make a lot of tough shots. So they have a really solid starting 5.
A great starting 5, and all 5 of them are actually averaging double digits right now, which is a crazy stat to think about. And I really like the pickups for Notre Dame in this offseason. Sanchez, like you said, 6'4", very physical, but I've seen her in a couple games that I've watched step out and be able to hit the 3. So just going to have to be able to guard her inside as well as outside. And then DeJesus is a 5th-year guard from Duke. So obviously super smart academically, but also on the court. I've watched her the last couple of years just be a really poised presence, a calming presence, and a veteran point guard, a veteran leadership for this Notre Dame team with only 3 starters returning. So Jordan, with this matchup coming up, what are you looking for?
I think the most glaring thing to look out for is the difference in depth. So Michigan, I think, has a strong, solid 8 or 9 players that they can play for a significant amount of time. You got Brooke coming off the bench, even some of the freshmen that are coming off. It can go on, but I think Michigan can play fast because of that. They can just reload and continue to press and push the ball in transition. Whereas Notre Dame, in their first few games, they have won by 30 to 40 to even 60 points one game, and they're playing their starters 30 minutes and above. So they don't have as much depth. Ayanna Moore is a transfer from Vanderbilt. She is coming back. She just played in their last game about 15 minutes. She's a strong player, but outside of that, I think they have 6 players, and below that, I don't think they're really going to be looking to play anymore. So I would not be surprised if the box score is those 6 on Notre Dame's team and no one else. And I think that could be a real difference maker. While Notre Dame is very in shape and they can last for a long time, they play very fast. If any one of them gets into foul trouble, it could be very costly.
Yeah, and you touched on it a little bit, but the transition for both of these teams has been insane. Notre Dame scored 100 points in one of their games. They like to push the ball. They also, with Hidalgo leading it, like to get up in the grill defensively and pick up full court sometimes. So it'll be really interesting with them only playing 6 players, maybe 7 players. If they can outlast the Wolverines, conditioning wise, because as we talked about earlier, the Wolverines pick up full court, and that can also wear you down physically. So we'll see, who can outlast who in this battle of fast-paced basketball.
Definitely. And I also want to ask, like, is there a matchup that you are looking out for in this game?
Oh, I think there's 2, honestly. I think it's gonna be Ashley versus Sanchez. Just Ashley's first, almost I would say, real test versus a true power 4 post player in her Michigan career. I think it'll be, see how the rest of the Big Ten season will go, and that will be really interesting, as well as Mila versus Hidalgo. Battle of really quick, shifty point guards who also value defense. Hidalgo's averaging 7.7 steals per game. We talked about Mila had 8 steals in the first game. So just 2 very similar players in that way. Should be fun, and how Mila can, as a true point guard, handle the pressure from Hidalgo.
Definitely. And I think it'll be a little bit different from Michigan's defensive perspective. If I had to guess, I would think Sila would be on Hidalgo to start the game. So I'm excited to see that. I think we could probably go back to last year's film and see some things, but I mean, I think Sila's defense has gotten a lot better, as well as I think Mila's composure and leadership from a point guard perspective has gotten a lot better from what I could see these first 2 games. So I completely agree. Those matchups I think are going to be key to winning this game. Whoever can beat out the others.
Yeah, and even a third matchup I was just thinking about is who's going to guard Olivia Olson? Is it going to be Prosper? Will it be KK Bransford? That could be something that we look out for. Who they put on Olson, and how Michigan can exploit that mismatch of whatever she receives.
Thank you for tuning in to our breakdown of what to expect from the Michigan Notre Dame. Make sure to watch the game at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're in the Michigan area, head to Detroit to watch a really fun event. But we'll catch you next time on the Nolan and Hobbs podcast.
If you like this kind of content, please like, share, follow, and subscribe. And as always, go blue.